Hey, it is Friday, July 12th. Oh, I gotta remember to check first. And it's been a really interesting week of songs up here at Totally Guitars. I mostly want to run down some of the songs because this week we put out some songs that I know caught everybody by surprise. Kind of caught me by surprise too. Actually, a lot of them did. I don't know what I was thinking this week. But, you know, we started off, and then I want to talk a little bit about repeats and codas and stuff like that, because I got a song coming up, hopefully next week, that will really test your ability to read the directional signs, to follow the map of a song. So anyway, we'll get to that later, I hope, if I remember. If I forget, remind me before I sign off. Anyway, continuing with the Jimmy Webb Songbook, we of course took a look early this week, well I think on Monday, at Glen Campbell's version of By the Time I Get to Phoenix. Just a emotionally, fuel-packed song. I just love that tune. It's a beautiful melody, regardless of the lyrics. I mean, even disregarding the lyrics, it's a great melody, and then the lyrics are killer. Love that tune. So, Vanessa brought us a lesson on a song that probably most of you were not too familiar with, Gabrielle Aplin, a tune called Please Don't Say You Love Me, that is like a contemporary hit with some cool guitar playing in it. I mean, it's fairly simple. It's a little bit like, well, very simple chord progression. Same chord progression as every other song that's been written in the last 412 years. But a nice little take on it that makes it different with just some kind of cool finger picking. So hope everybody had a chance to check that one out. And let's see, we revisited one of my all-time favorites. Matter of fact, I still have this record sitting right here because I'm thinking about doing something else on there. But anybody want to take a stab at Ride My Llama? And I think the ear training aspect of this song was something I know people appreciated and things. This was, of course, Neil Young's Pocahontas, bringing up Marlon Brando and all kinds of odd things in this. And this is, of course, from the album. Okay, enough on Pocahontas. So, two other songs. These are the two I'm mostly talking about that I'm sure nobody saw coming. Was Police, Sting, and Andy Summers, and of course, not to leave out Stewart, but Every Breath You Take, which is, again, a very simple song, completely borrowed from chord progressions of the 50s. I think in the lesson, did I mention it reminds me of Stand By Me? You can probably hear the connection there. But Andy's cool guitar part really gave it this distinctive sound that became the sound of the Police. So, love that tune, and really hadn't planned on looking for a simplified version. I just sort of stumbled into it, and I thought, you know, most people are going to say I love that song, but there's just no way I'm gonna go to the trouble to play those notes. Maybe on the ukulele, break out your little tiny baby instruments, and could absolutely, mandolin could probably make it happen. But Stratocaster, slightly smaller neck, maybe. There you go. That's how Andy did it. But anyhow, that was one of the fun ones this week, and then had to revisit the song, or reopen the songbook of somebody who I've just always one of my all-time favorites. I know you guys got this. And one of the reasons I haven't gotten to more of his lessons, by the way, is because some of them are really simple, but what makes them so cool was the second guitar parts that Maury Mulezen added to them, and that is just the sound, the Croce sound without second guitars is not kind of as much fun. Now there are still some other cool ones. get to that. I don't know. Kind of a piano tune, but Jim and Maury played it live all the time with just the two of them. So anyway, more Croce stuff probably on the horizon. Who knows? Gotta get to that. Okay, I think that's it for the cool songs. Pocahontas, You Don't Mess Around with Jim. And Please Don't Say You Love Me by the time I get to Phoenix. And I'm not gonna play it again. My hand hurts too much. Every breath you take. So, but what I do want to talk about is the question that came up, that has been kind of recurring on the forum. Oh, I have a song I want you to listen to. And my student Kevin was in last week. I'll try to make a separate forum post about this, because the ear training kind of segment of Pocahontas sort of ties into a song that I was working on with Kevin earlier this week by Jerry Garcia, The Wheel. So, you know what, I'll try to remember to do a separate post on this, but I want to put together a new Work It Out challenge kind of thing with that, because the song has some unusual things happen and some variations typical of a lot of Jerry Garcia stuff. So check out The Wheel from Jerry Garcia's, I think it was his first album, but I'm not sure. His first solo album, you know, but he was still with the Dead, like, his whole life. Okay, enough about Jerry for now. Anyway, couple of important things to understand about repeats are the simple repeat signs. The double bars with double dots are pretty self-explanatory. You'll sometimes see those, and that just means do everything inside them again. But frequently, you of course have a first and second ending, or third or fourth or fifth ending, that every time you get there you do something different. And so you got to make sure that as far as endings go, you never play one into the next. It's always one or another, or the next one, and typically each one of them takes you somewhere else. So multiple endings are one thing. Then you have text repeats that send you back to someplace. That's the DC and DS sign, or symbols. DC, very simple, back to the beginning. And usually there's another instruction, al fine, to the finish, the end, that would be marked somewhere in the middle of the song. Or al coda, which is a part at the end you're going to jump to. So the coda is a spot you jump to from somewhere in the middle of the song, and is usually the end of the song. So the S sign, looks like a Gothic S, is a spot you go back to, and then you're going to have another instruction. So you got to understand those. And again, I hope next week's lesson that I'm trying to piece together will, on a very cool song that is, I think, really highly up there on the recommend a lesson list, will address that a little bit more. But as long as you understand that the coda is tacked on, something you jump to from the middle of the song after a repeat. You could even have two codas, double codas and double S signs, and that's what we're going to see in next week's lesson. I guess I'm kind of committed to this song that I'm hoping to get, that I've been meaning to get to for years as well. Okay, I am starting to ramble too much. I think I got to get back to okay, you got that one? I know, I went down the Tom Petty rabbit hole a couple of weeks ago, and even further down that hole I might have to tackle, I don't know, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, I gotta stop here before I get myself in trouble. Next week, hopefully a couple more surprises, and we are getting much closer. We're within like 2.5 months? July, August, September. A month and a half. No, 2 months, yes. It is, from like right now. Pretty cool. To the International Guitar Camp. So if you've been still thinking, if you're kind of on the fence about this, think about it again now, because we still have, we can still squeeze in a few more people. We'll just have to put them off site, which is not too far away. So anyway, if you're on the fence, check in soon. If not, check in next week. I will see you.